anything else, so maybe there is a shot at it here. Smoke goes down in the same position. They're waiting it out. Tabson almost rewarded. It's a very shallow look that Magus just took in there. Didn't really expose himself too much. He's going to be falling back into the back plateau, and this defense is looking good right now for Vitality.
Yeah, so not really a whole lot of information available. Spinks will cop a flash, and a bullet as well whistles past, so they know that there's pressure long, they know that there's pressure tunnels, and now as we're in the sub 1 minute mark, they can start moving forward. There's a smoke and a flash available. Tabson could deploy this for a mid to B as well as an A play, so they have options, but it looks like they're mid to B, and guess what? Dupree with the Julies, this is a good.
It is looking good. Right position for it. He's going to take one of them down. Sin already out of the round. Time for getting caught, though. Tabson, swift return as they're going to change course and try and get rid of the dualies, away from the dualies, and into Spinks instead, who's there with the USB. He's hit 3 headshots already. Searson, the only one alive with about 25 seconds. You could run back, but you're going to have to run the whole way. There's not going to be any slowing it down, or you're not going to have time for it anyway. Back down, looking for it in the middle. About 18 seconds now. It's getting scary, and they're already watching it. Wow. Searson, could he do it at range? He's almost got it already. He had 10 seconds on the clock. He's going to make a run for it. He's going to have the bomb plant for sure. Oh, this is unseemly. Surely he should not be winning this round. He shouldn't even be close. Back into look. Oh, absolutely outrageous.
What a clutch that was. I cannot believe how that round unfolds, especially with the time on the clock. Pivoting back to spawn, has to win 2 fights. Well, he wins the first, sure. That's enough. Buys him space against Dupree. Dupree's like, hold up, I don't have to fight him here. He can't plant yet, but gave him enough rope to head towards that site. Here's Searson. 2 in the back. Apex and Spinks fall after those heroics, and that one onto Dupree is marvelous. Gonna be loving that way. You can see the clap, see the smile, see the excitement. Now, for Big, that's a great pistol round to pick up here. Well, we're straight back into the thick of things. Zywu into an M4, a scout for Apex. Some Deagles and an MP9 made available. Now, we know how poorly this long control can go, Anders, against scouts.
Yeah, if you get bogged down and, you know, the tags just, I feel like, you know, one tag you can kind of make it through. If 2 or more people get tagged, there's this general slowdown on the team. Nobody wants to be the third, and the 2 people that are already tagged don't want to even go for it.
That a miss smoke, or is that deep intentionally? Ah, that's a tag and a headshot.
Yeah, that'll do it. Sin trying to see if he gets to make his way past, leading the charge right here. Oh, and it's a little bit of a fake look at this. Apex showing himself, but will they ever guess the Dupree? They might not even need this setup. It's a cool setup anyway, but it might actually just not even be required. Crimbo and Searson in a lot of trouble here. 2 on 5. They know where Apex, they know that he's been here the whole time, and they still just can't really find him. Smoke is about to fade. Finally, there's the shot from Searson. He saved them in the pistol. This might even be more impressive if he can get out of this one. Missed shot, and he's going to be going down, overwhelmed, and Crimbo caught by the trick.
These long anti-ecos or anti-forces really have to stop. Like, the amount of times we've seen it over EPO and now here at the RMRs. Now, this is the smoke I was talking about. I don't know if they did it wider intentionally to try and obscure the vision. It doesn't matter. Apex shredded them regardless, and so did Zywu. That's a nice little 2-piece. And Apex, he's loving that one. Getting the troops fired up immediately here with the response. Wow. But that's it. The amount of times that teams take the long control and then go for those plays, it's just not working. They know that scouts are going to be out on the other side. All you have to do is stand and deliver. You're quicker on the movement speed.
Some Deagles being picked up here and a counter scout coming out from the big side saying, all right, you know, maybe we could do it. I don't think that's a bad idea. Searson is fairly nuts. It's possible to see him get some scout headshots. I wouldn't put it past him.
It's just such a shame. He did all that hard work in the pistol and then the team fumble, whether that's through the call or the individuals. I'll let you at home decide. He had that clutch. And the thing is with Searson, one of the questions with him is, you know, well, we need him to do it consistently on LAN, right? We know that his level online is exactly like winning the round he just did. It's not that he's a bad player on LAN. And let's not get it twisted here, Germans. It's that he just produces a little bit more in the online realm. So here we go again. Combines with Keto. They will get a kill onto Dupree. That's an avenue now for the mid to be. And he's been mopped up by Apex. So hightailing up through the tunnels, quick as you like. They'll be running into the domain of Magisk.
Yeah, and he kind of lets them know, yep, I know you're coming. Here's a gift. HE right into the cluster of them. And a good cleanup from me. It's a nice little spray down. And they're going to be winning that round handedly.
It's a big round to win.
Let me tell you a little bit about the
decoys.
The decoys.
All right.
It's a guy that messaged me, a physicist, goes by...
Did he give you documentation to prove he was a physicist, or did you take him at his word?
Took him at his word.
All right, you're a kind guy, Anders, I get it.
But what he came up with made me think, you know, it could be true. I think he's called Albert Einstein. Maybe that's also what sold it for me. I was like, okay.
All right.
Anyway, he came up with this idea that... Oh, hold on. They're fighting in the middle already.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
They're cleaning them up. All right.
Yeah. You continue with the story.
Came up with the idea that if you know where the CTs like to stack their grenades...
Yes.
If you use decoys to land in the grenade stack, when it blows up at the end, it will scatter the grenades all over the place.
It's not a bad idea, right? If you know that a team consistently does, like, let's say a reservoir or a cache of utility, say CT spawn on this map, or we're talking about like Inferno over towards B, it's an idea. It's definitely a bit of a Hail Mary. Decoys don't get a lot of use.
It's so wacky. I fell in love with it instantly. I thought that's a sick plan. It's so crazy that if it ever happened, you imagine how shocked you'd be on the CT side coming back to check and you're like, oh, all the grenades are gone. Ooh. It's not a scout that you're hearing on the map. Searson's AWP ringing out.
Very lucky to be alive as well. That nade wasn't too far off the mark.
Yep. Could have instantly blown them up. But 4 on 5. And let's just see. That is a scout on side on the other side, though.
I actually didn't mind that at all from Apex because we know that Searson likes to play that position a lot with the AWP. He has a couple of set smokes that he can throw for there on A executes. But Tabson's being able to waltz out long. Just a bit of a saunter for him and the crew as Keto, Sin, and Searson will follow not too far behind. Crimbo on the long rotation all the way back. And a nice little find here for Dupree, so he'll scoop up HE as well. Now, defending this is not going to be an easy task. Zaiwu has a full bag available to him here, and Searson is low. So we're trying to look at the positives. If you're a Vitality fan.
Still 3 HEs and 2 Molotovs. I mean, if they're a little bit too slow big, those grenades suddenly become way more valuable. They have 2 more smokes for the cross. That means they don't have any smokes to put out Molotovs. If they use both smokes on the cross, then that bomb plant's going to be real tricky. And look at that. Smoke's going to go... Oh, Molotov's going to go down in front of the smoke, I think. Counter smoke coming out as well. Oh, big. This is a little bit scary. Yeah, deep one to slow them down. They still have another Molotov. Magisk knew they were going to be at least one up against the wall because there's a Molotov out there in the open. Now we're down to 15 seconds. Cyber on the scout, and they line up for Magisk. Gets a beautiful spray down, and Tabson 10 seconds on the clock and only very little health here. No backup at all. He's going to get shut down. Dupree and Magisk to close out the round.
Beautiful stuff. Very jarring there because they're condemned towards long. As mentioned, they had the number advantage, sure, but the util that you highlighted was absolutely key in that scenario for Vitality. Well played. Very well played indeed. And now Zaiwu can get out the AWP while Big have to stomach what is likely to be just another partial investment. Haven't taken a timeout and doesn't look like they're going to. So the buys are late out of spawn here. Smoke plumes on the cross, and well, at least it'll shroud their cover. And you can see here how light the investment truly is. Searson is going to be operating with a Glock in hand. All right, so nice little one there from Sin to land on the pallet, not on top of the box.
Wow. Letting the rookie do some of the hard work. Apex, though, will catch him. He was trying to get a little bit closer. Walking through lower dark. What a pop flash through, but Keto was still able to find the kill. That's a bit shocking. Dupree probably was favored to win that one. So where's he going to go for the flick? He will, but unsuccessfully so. So 4 on 4 with a stolen M4. It's something to work with.
Yeah, and they still have a smoke and a bunch of flashes left. We know that teams have been enjoying these B pops, and that's exactly where everybody from Big currently resides. Zaiwu tucks himself in up on the platform, and Magisk up close and personal on the tall box. So the B defense is still very strong here, and I would say the way in is Zaiwu missing shots, which doesn't tend to happen too much these days.
Yeah. Big looking to battle in B. I know you were hungry for alliteration earlier. Zaiwu, good little flick. He's still fighting them. They're finally getting a bit close. Tabson able to take him down, and this is actually a hugely successful round from Big in spite of everything. 2 versus 2. Molotov to put a lot of pressure on him with the force behind. I thought he had that one. It looked great for Apex. I didn't even mind that he went a bit aggressive there. I really thought he would have had it. Spinks will take down Tabson finally, but Searson is in there, and he's stolen that AWP off the hands of Zaiwu. He's in a great position. No more nades that Spinks can use. Yeah, there's a smoke. That's somebody going to help him here. And he beats right into it. Sisson not going to miss the opportunity either. And a big. That's such an unlikely round for them to win. That's huge.
Yeah, and that M4 from Dupree, look, that really wasn't even a massive factor in all of this, was it? The fact that they were able to trade out efficiently onto the site. It goes down, they pick this up, they stroll into the site. Actually, it was a factor. Tabson getting some key kills. I take that back immediately. That M4 facilitated that AWP drop, which was the final blow there. So really good stuff from Tabson, exactly what you want to see. And that's a gift for Big. One that they had to steal from under the Christmas tree. It didn't have their name on the tag. So someone, little Timmy's going to be unhappy come the morning.
You take what you can in professional Counter-Strike, I suppose.
That's a really nice round. I'm still recovering to see how it all fell apart, but really it was just Tabson there just blowing a couple of heads off, strolling into the site. Zywu defended valiantly right there with the AWP against those scurrying Ts.
Crimbo and Sin both still at 0 kills, a little bit, you know, about halfway through the first half. That could change. I mean, I still think Big are in a decent position right here. Not that much money on the Vitality side, so perfectly possible for them to turn this around and have a pretty good first half if they can crunch through the last bit of money on the CT side. It's a good, still a pretty decent first half. Nice catch. Zywu goes down.
It's a really big scalp to find here, primarily because it's the AWPer. But I don't think we can forget the fact Zywu's been in phenomenal form as of late. Especially back at the desk, we're talking about the ESL Pro League Season 16 champions. Back towards upper tunnels again, so really trying to isolate Magisk, who has burnt on down and has made a step, but oh my lord, Magisk has burnt down to 28. Now he's in no man's land. They could just bowl him over here. They're walking in.
That's unbelievably awkward. He's really not in a good position and still almost getting the double. Brimbo, got to be careful standing out of the open like that. He does have the bomb in his back. I don't think they can get close enough to stop him, though. No HEs or anything else over, so bomb is planted. 3-on-3, traditionally. Very tricky to retake this bomb side, though. Vitality have already proven they kind of wanted to try and do that once. Maybe they want to do it again here. I don't know if it's just confidence or if it's hubris. I guess there's a fine line between those two things. Apex setting up for a nade deep there, but no one is at the Black Plateau, and that's an opening, taking every single one. It's not hubris at all.
I think one of the factors there was they were relatively silent about that retake. But they weren't spamming the doors, they weren't making a bit of a huff and a puff about it. They just walked up. Spinks, as soon as he takes out Sirison from that tunnel position, that's the key fight. Because if Sirison wins that duel, he can then turn around, he can help assist towards window and doors, maybe get him a sightline out towards those doors. So great retake, and we don't traditionally see a whole lot of retakes on Dust 2. That little nugget in the back of my brain was going, is this a save?
Yeah.
And they did miss that molly there, so that also didn't land over towards window, which is where it was destined to be deployed.
Well, I suppose if that thought goes off in the back of your mind, then that might also be happening in the big, because like you said, the lack of spams and everything, you're like, you know, are we home straight? Is it all right? You know, and then boom.
I think that's one of the cool things about, you know, using your identity as a fake, right? And we saw that with Cloud9, I think, as well, a couple weeks ago. Maybe it wasn't just last week during the playoffs. I think it was in that phase game where they didn't make a whole lot of noise on the B retake on Inferno, and Rops was in Boiler the whole time. And I think that his teammates were commenting, hey, there's no noise here. You don't have to rotate in. Just see if you can go for the punish, hold the lurk. And then they went for the retake, and they even pulled it off, which goes against the traditional way Cloud9 would be operating in those number disadvantage scenarios. But if you're big, you know that you can win these type of rounds with not a whole lot. So they managed to bring in a bit more than not a whole lot. It's not the kitchen sink. Maybe it's a bathroom basin, but they have an AK. A couple of pistols, some util again. They're going to take their time about this. The double AWP set up on the other side for Vitality. One for Magisk and one for Zywu. So that's going to free up Zywu to be a bit more focused over towards A. They can also play this setup where Magisk is floating, looking for fights in mid. Once he gets smoked off, his vision will be obscured here.
I understand why it's Magisk on the AWP. Oh, wow. Ouch.
Heat-seeking missile there.
Yeah. That was pretty decent. Given his position as that back plateau player, obviously with Magisk, but it seems almost criminal not to give it to Dupree.
We did see him do, well, that's a long time ago, isn't it? And we're really rolling back the year. That was at a Blast Copenhagen event, wasn't it?
Yeah, with devices out.
Dennis was standing in, wasn't he?
Dennis was there, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, the brains still work.
Called him AW Peter for a reason. Cyril, good little flick there. listen, credit to Big. They are trying to layer those flashbangs to make it almost impossible, but this is also one of the reasons why Sai was such a hard player to play against, is that, yeah, it's going to take a lot to get rid of him like that. Impressive, though. Big have got the bomb plant again in a round where they had almost nothing. Searson sneaking out, and the tabs are absolutely godlike. Taking down Spinks and Sinister to drop Apex, and this round are lost. I don't know how Big are doing this. They're losing some of the rounds that they shouldn't be, but they're winning some super unlikely rounds.
This is crazy. Just maybe stick with one upgrade and a couple of pistols, boys, because the layering, yeah, you were bang on. I even like the layering of the smokes there. The bridge smoke first.
Yeah.
They get out behind that. Then they drop the elevator box smoke to work as a one-way. Gives them a little bit more plume time on that. And then they push forward. Sure, they lose that opening fight, but they get themselves into strong post-plant positions. And it was just on top of the site. So Searson, he has had so much impact in this game already. I know they only have 3 rounds. I might be getting a bit ahead of myself, but the pistol round, and now here, just destruction. These rounds you can credit to Searson and hitting a couple of lovely shots.
One correction, Chad. Powerful post-plant positions. Just, you know, trying to update the, you said strong. I'm just...
Oh. Powerful post-plant positions? Yeah, that works. I like that, the alliteration. Yeah. That one's gonna... Oh, that one will stick. That one will stick. I'll lock that one away in the back of the brain there. Maybe the frontal lobe. One of the lobes. Not the earlobes.
But listen, if you can store... If you have memory space in your earlobes, it might actually be a huge upgrade.
Well, when I have my mind mapping going on, maybe I'll put some earlobes up there.
Nice.
On the brain.
5-3. What an odd game. I'll be honest, the way that they were retaining that bomb side earlier made me think, okay, Vitality are in this, yeah, you're playing with a stand and we're going to crush you kind of mode. But now I don't even know what we're really witnessing. It's kind of a little bit weird.
Yeah, and this is the thing. These are the type of rounds that Vitality should be converting. And in a best of one, they can really come back to horn you. So let's see the flow-on effects of this now. In towards lower for Dupree, but out long. Spinks is going to use the smoke to shroud and cover. Gets down towards the pit. Keto mid-air, down and dealt with. The bottle to the face.
I was going to say, he tanks it like a champion. Apex, so blind, and still getting the kill with the assistance of Spinks behind him as well. Searson finally finding back, and surely Vitality have it in them still to remember to not overextend this one. Primbo's got 1 kill right now, but Searson's having himself a really good game. There's absolutely no reason to give him a chance.
They've locked them in at least. So Zywoo by pushing up mid, make sure there's no way back. It seems a bit strange that the AWP is covering this angle, but maybe it's best he is, because they're about to walk his way.
Yeah, they're trying to get out. I don't know where the bullet went. I actually don't understand.
Did he good, didn't it?
Did he move?
Yeah, when they go slow-mo and they see they just press the movement key and the crosshair gets a little bit blurry, or they give it that wiggle on the shot. But they're going to now reinitiate here. If Searson flashes, Kimbo could get a fight or two.
All right. Slap a Molotov. Nay doesn't do that much. Setting up for a boost. I mean, I feel like Big are trying to make the most out of every single scenario, even in a 2-on-4 like this that looks unwinnable. If someone had been up there, they could have been caught. It could have been a 2-on-3. They're staying super creative, even these really hard to win rounds, and that should get some credit too. They are going to lose this one, but it's cool to see them kind of trying to optimize every single little corner of the map.
Yeah, they are just throwing the round array, which is nice. You don't want to see these teams just not conceding, but maybe not being as diligent as they should be. And Searson will be able to maintain this up. He has a lot of cash money in the back pocket. He could drop 2 AKs, 1 for Tabson and 1 for Keto here. So there's no issues in the buy department right now. But for Vitality, that's a gun round that they've been able to deal with. And we're not too worried about the gun rounds. We get a little bit more worried when the lighter buys are out. So it'll be another buy round here.
Yeah, they're going to be able to put something on the... Some kind of a buy. Spawn for Searson is interesting.
Yeah, you're right. He's going to be able to take this peak early. Do they want to flash or throw the smoke for the one-way?
Crouching straight in. It's close. He really can be such a terrifying force on the map. Not that far from it. Expecting some kind of aggression down here. Cyber's going to be turning around. Oh, but he's lost his backup, so now he's on his own. Fighting up close with the AWP. He's going to be taking down Keto. Molotov, surely... No, they're going to fall back. I thought he was going to get run down. Magus on the crossfire. That's real hard to get out of here, but Tabson will. He fights his way out. He should have been absolutely dead. Apex going to be there, and that is an easy shot. So 2 on 2. The bomb is committed to the bomb side, you're right.
Apex needs to live. Look at the rotation. Spinks has pushed long. He's trying to go around the world. A nice nifty one there out of Sirius. And now Sin has a chance. In the flank, in the back lines, can take Apex out, but fluffs his line. We've given up both locations now. Sin steps out, eventually mops up the mess, but Spinks is here. He's too quick. Sirison considering this. The only place that he's susceptible to now, but Spinks, he might have found the timing on this. He might have found the perfect timing. He definitely spotted. Molly comes forward in the 1-on-2. He's grabbed the first, the second towards window, and that's going to be it. Massive clutch from Spinks.
Oh, man. I thought for a minute there that actually he'd already been spotted. Initially, I thought Sirison was maybe just even pre-aiming it, but...
I think I called it Sirison. It was Crimbo and Sin, right? I think I was just preemptively thinking it was the AWP, or did I get this completely wrong? Either way, it's the clutch round for Spinks.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, I thought he had been spotted, but I guess not. I have so many questions.
It happened so quickly as well. Like, Sin flushed the lines and then it was Crimbo. Okay, I just assumed Sirison because of the AWP, so I need to be paying a bit more attention to the names right there. But that one is really going to hurt, and Spinks wanting to keep it calm, keep it cool, keep it collected.
I can't believe Tabson fought his way out against Magus. He looked so confused. Even when Magus got the first kill, you could tell Tabson was not really sure where the battle was coming from. 7-3, in spite of a lot of ups and downs, it is Vitality walking away with a pretty good lead right now. They've got here in a bit of a strange way, but things are looking good for them.
There's God B in the background. Legend of the German scene. Probably has a lot to say at this juncture in the game here. Now, Sin has already brought forward. He's the only one to do so. Didn't wait for the orders from the coach. And maybe he should have, because Tabson's only invested in with a P250 and the rest are operating with something a little bit lighter here as well. So he bought out of order.
Crazy. Godby was a legend when we were all still kids. I can't believe that. That's how long he's been in it. Oh, nice. Not for Sin.
That was the AK.
But for Saibu, yeah, that is the AK on the ground.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Not having the best of showings, are they?
Well, somebody else is going to carry it over.
We had the first 2 maps very, very close, right? We obviously just finished that Cloud9 versus G2 game, and then we had FaZe versus Fnatic. That was another tidy morsel. Now we're in the Group B for the RMRs. I think Ents have already taken care of business, because we're about a map behind here on the mainstream. Yeah, Ents took down MBK and Masuda's Falcons, 16-6 on Vertigo. And right now on the B stream, we've got Heroic taking on Outsiders. That's actually a really nice game. And Liquid versus MIBR and Complexity versus Pain are also live during the Americas portion of all this.
See if we can get past here. He's not wanting to push his luck. Molotov. Oh, nicely done. 2 for 1.
That's the special. This is IWU special right now.
It really is. His 13th and 14th kill all at the same time. Tabson and Crimbo, I mean, if this sort of rhythm of this game is going to hold true, they're going to win this one.
True. So here we go. Tabson on the AWP. Let's see how many he can find. Crimbo needs to activate here as well.
Wait a minute. Yeah, he has to win this fight first more than anything. Good little shot onto Spinks. Apex trying to get the jump, but Tabson is going to be catching him. What in the world is going on? Magus get Dupree now. The 2 Danish players stuck out there. They ain't even thinking about it. They're going to be walking away. What is happening?
That's so ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. The type of rounds that Vitality have won, have lost.
Yeah.
You add them together, some of them are pretty inexcusable rounds, really.
It should be big up, you know, 7-4 or something like that now. Like, when you win rounds like these, you should just be winning the game.
This is crazy. The performances of Sirison and Tabson in individual moments has been wilding. What are we meant to say about this? The game's topsy-turvy. It's not meant to be going like this.
That Outsiders Heroic game is really interesting. Think about the clash of styles between Outsiders and Cadian.
True.
That's fun to even imagine. So yeah, watch both at the same time.
I think that's a hard series to pick as well. I know it's just a one mapper, but I think that one's quite hard to pick.
Oh yeah, for sure. I wouldn't be comfortable putting a strong prediction on that at all. Let's see, 4-7, Big winning all of the most unlikely rounds and then giving up some of the ones that they definitely have chances in. all of it very hard. I mean, you think about the other one where Spinks is in the 1 versus 2, you know, like that's a super winnable round for Big.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time explaining how some of these scenarios are falling apart here. Sin does have some backup. Smoke deployed towards the door, so he can play in front of that. Apex is actually ready for that, more than ready for that. A moment ago, he was in the pit. Now he's moved himself to the reverse side.
And they give up on it. I mean, there is a smoke down there, so they're just going to have to leave it for now. Keto hoping for an opening. Not going to see anyone just yet. Cyber here on the M4 instead of the AWP. They know that he's there somewhere. Apex setting up with a deep flashbang to just spot them out. Oh, Tamsin nearly dead, but instead Apex shut down. Now backup should be coming, but it's not quite yet. And they're going to get wiped out. This is looking really good. Tamsin in the middle, low on health. He's saying, I'm going to play this a little bit of a flanking position. If anyone comes, I'm going to at least see them coming. 2 versus 2. They already seem to have made the call to back on out.
Yeah, I think Spinks just wants to get a better weapon here. So there is an AK available. Can grab this one at least. There was a kit on the site, I do believe. But yeah, they're way too far removed from this. And Big are going to grab another. Now, when you look at the flow of rounds right now, they do. There's the kit. Thank you very much. They have 4, about to be 5 rounds in total. But these last 2 are consecutive rounds. And that's the change here. So they've done a great job of breaking Vitality. We've already seen the financial woes. You mentioned Zywu without an AWP. And the loss bonus isn't going to help to facilitate that into the next round of play. So Vitality have made this extremely hard on themselves, or Big have done a remarkable job winning in situations where they definitely weren't favored. You can frame that however you want. That's going to be your internal bias at home leading you to that one, because arguments can be made both ways.
What will be really interesting to see is if Vitality, and I like this timeout, because if I'm Sonic, that's probably what I'm thinking too. Let's just have a little chat, boys. Let's try and figure out what on earth is going on. Say you're supposed to be winning the 2-on-4.
I think it's like calm it down. Like that gesture to me is like calm it down a bit. Like in that situation where Zywu is getting overrun on the ramp, Apex should just worry about long. I know that he wants to assist Zywu, and they did a stack over towards the B site. And you flash for Zywu and he peeks, he doesn't get one. But Apex gave away his life by strafing out to assist. Yeah. He had all the control of long. So Zywu in this situation, even if he stayed alive, would eventually have to start considering long. Like, you know, you got to think about the flow-on effects of some of these scenarios here, and then the retake way too far removed. If Apex stays alive at long, Zywu goes down on A, at least the other 3 players could maybe come through long. You know, you're removing your options. Oh, there we go, B-Stream update. It's the match we were just talking about, Mirage for Heroic versus Outsiders. And it's a 4-1 lead for the Outsiders there. So if you want to check that one out, twitch.tv/ESO_CSGO-B.
Definitely do that. Spinks and Magisk with a couple of rifles. And that's about it. That's what they got to work with here. Big have won many rounds in this game with just this. So maybe it's possible, but none of the rifles are on this side of the map. Apex up at the A-bomb side with a flash and a USP.
It's 2 rounds in a row as well. The Vitality have hedged towards B in the opener, and 2 rounds in a row they've gambled incorrectly here. So this pace from Big, it's going to be ahead of these 2 rifles that are still silently clearing out lower tunnels. Yeah,
if they got there and Big smoked for the cross and then they pop the flash through, that might be one of the only ways to win around like this. One good, huge flashbang, but I think you're right. The timing here probably going to be a little bit too early. There's the flash coming through, and Dupree will get the one. One of the rifles kind of got there, but not in time to have a real impact. Apex dropped down. Magisk up here. 30 seconds still, and yeah, he was flashed before he could even do anything.
Great flashes, right? That's utility on display right there. You could see that he's trained it at the ready, but simple flash work right there just makes that extremely difficult. And now we have a game. This should never have been in this scenario. You consider the context of the type of rounds that Big have been able to put on the board. It doesn't matter in a best of 1. You're not going to walk away at the end of this and go, hey, look, we need to review the demo. No, we walk away from this and go, hey, we're in the 2-0 bucket right now in Group B. We're 1 best of 3 away from qualifying for the major. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter how you get there, right? We're not looking at this type of Counter-Strike as a foundation being built forward. We know that teams will have prep time. They just need to win. So no matter how you get there, you just got to get there.
Could you imagine what a shock it would be to the whole RMR if Big managed to take down Vitality, and not so much that, but Big with the stand-in?
Oh, precisely. Yeah, that, I think here, like, Sin, he's no slouch. He's down there in the academy ranks. Hold up. Spinks on the fade here. We'll find one, so The way to produce an opener through your superstar is Spinks anchoring down long. A little bit of a nifty maneuver there. Sin really want to flirt with this. It would be less than advised.
Very hard to beat this one, especially if you're not going to get any kind of assistance from outside. Maybe a good flash or something like that. 4 on 5. Putting some pressure on the catwalk, it feels like is what they want to try and do at least. Yeah, Tabson getting close. Signaling that it could be a mid-to-B split, which we can obviously tell probably isn't.
This is the smoke that Keto's lining up, right? It'll land as the bridge smoke. So they're going to deploy that after they push Zywoo off the line. So they can fake this out. They can imply that there's more pressure towards short than there actually is, and then try and slink out long. But Spinks hasn't moved.
Yeah, he's staying there for the whole time. 30 seconds. With the bomb up there, if that arm of the attack goes down, ooh, what an opening. Crouching in. Apex wants to catch them as they come up, but he's flashed as well. The utility on Big is just so impressive, and it's actually destroying Vitality at the moment. Searson, what an incredible shot to bring down Zywoo, and again, they find a way to thread the needle here. Magus and Dupree, with the money that they have, they need to back on out. It's going to be tied up 7-7.
There's been such a gear shift in this game. It's 4 consecutive rounds now. It may even be 5. The half could be won by Big. And there's residual cash. Is Tabson going to call for the hunt? Are they going to let the dogs off the leash and allow them to try and chase away some of these rifles here? They could. They have that luxury to go for right now. But you're right, that utility. This is something that Big is always known for, is some geeky nades or geeky ways to be able to do similar strategies that we've seen before, but in their whole different quirk and flair. I think the key for Big was not necessarily about their approach, not necessarily about their util usage, but about hitting the shots, right? Because in this team, they always have a couple of good ideas. It's going to come down to the firepower being able to meet that. And in certain rounds, in certain key rounds, it has so far for Big, right? Sin getting that kill onto Spinks is massive. That is a frag that I didn't think he'd be getting any day of the week. It felt very telegraphed that that type of a play was coming, and Spinks still gets sat down. So these saved rifles are a great consolation for Vitality now, but they are really going to have this sinking feeling in the back of their, wow, maybe not in the back of anything, in the front of their minds, that they've let this half slip.
Yeah. Gonna need to see a real mental reset out of the Vitality camp. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Timeout into the 15th round. That's interesting.
Yeah, and I don't mind the call because I think that Gob knows that this is an opportunity. Every round counts on the way to getting to 16, right? And I know it's only going to be 1 round margin. But in the context of this game, if they can squeeze one more round out of this as part of the comeback, not only is that going to leave the sour taste in the mouth for Vitality going into the break, it's going to put them that one step closer here. And if they can get the pistol round in that next half, right, they get the first gun round, we're having a real conversation now that Big can really do this.
Vitality must be a little bit shell-shocked at what they're experiencing right now. Cyber's on 15, Spinks is on 12, and Magus at 11. I mean, that's all across the map, right? That's the 2 people along, and Magus anchoring to be bomb side. You think that was pretty great, but somehow it's not enough. Round number 15 starts with a kill from Zywoo. If he had more bullets, probably would have had that one too against Sin, but they're going to give up the long fight on the Vitality side and start to fall back.
Job done here. They have the long control Searson over towards Pit. They've actually sent them packing in the 4v4 trade, and they have all this long control. You're likely just to see Big sit and wait. Right? They're just going to allow the clock to settle down. Actually searching. So hold up. A bit more active play here than I was ready for.
Yeah, they are going to try and discover something, but they might be late once again. It happened once before where they were on Upper Dark and they never really got there in time. Searson, he's got the right idea. He does see just the top of his head. Calls in Crimp over the rifle. Might have actually got that shot if he'd have kept the AK out. But either way, 3 on 3. And the bomb being thrown up there to be planted right away. A little bit awkward. I think they managed to drop it a couple of times. So yeah, Crimbo finally on it. And with actually not even the AWP back there. Searson's still up. Thought he was going to be down in the pit. Would have made more sense probably. Everything on this for Vitality. At least a little boost going into the second half if they can win this one. Get that 1-round lead in spite of everything. Searson, that's not the peak he wanted at all. And he's going to go down to Magus. So will Crimbo. That's Dupree instead. And Sin, not a lot he could do, but somehow he walked right into it. Smoke is up. Does he have the angle for it? It's close. That defuse is still coming. And even if it's 10 seconds, they're going to go all the way for it. Dupree able to pick it up. An 8-7 scoreline at the end of the half. Very messy first half I wonder what's going to happen. It'll be interesting to see in the second half. It's coming up right after the break.
Hey Future Pros, back with a more complex pro tip today which will help you establish presence at long on Dust 2. For this execute you will need 2 Future Pros. The utility required will be 2 smokes and 1 optional flash for this take. Future Pro number 1. To throw your smoke you will need to line up with this metal bracket. Then find this corner and aim your crosshair so it lines up with the satellite antenna. Then throw. Future Pro number 2. You will need to line yourself up with this dark spot in the shadow of the car. Aim upwards and find the gap in the palm trees. Then position your crosshair so you're aiming just above that gap and throw. Optional Future Pro number 3. If you want to feel like a part of the team, you can stand at the back of the car and line up this flash towards the top of the doors, which will help your teammates get out of long. If the smokes have been thrown correctly, this will help you segment long and fully take control of pit.
This world is slowing down. How can I fight it? How can I listen when there's no sound? Oh, the wolves are out. Yes, the wolves are out. Hold on to what you found. Days are deceiving. My head is spinning round. Oh.
Some curious rounds in the first half of Counter-Strike, but regardless, inseparable. 8-7, as close as we can possibly be here, and this is for maybe not all the marbles, but half a bag. This is going to put one of the 2 teams, Vitality or Big, in the 2-0 bucket in the Swiss system, which means they could be just one best of 3 away from qualifying the Rio Major, and that is what we're here for, Anders.
Curious the way that I feel when the kids have decided to draw the sofa with crayons or something like it's that kind of curious that I'm looking for here, Chad.
You know something went wrong, you don't know how to handle the problem.
Yeah, you're confused. You're like, what was even the plan? How is this going to work out?
I think that's how big, Vitality are finding themselves now.
Sin toying with a lot there.
Screwed.
Deep Molotov, yeah, he's in trouble. Spinks will take him down, and that's a bit of an issue. I'm impressed that Big, I mean, the utility's been amazing. They've won some super unlikely rounds. They've made this competitive. Vitality, they need some kind of vibe check to get back in it. They need to find a way to pick this up once again here. And this pistol round might be it, although Crimbo and Keto started to fight back. Huge double for Crimbo, and Searson hiding back by the car all alone. Meg is gonna get shut down, and Big win the pistol.
Both pistols in this map so far, and you consider the other crazy round. They're loving the clap. I don't know what it is about the clap, but they're loving the clap here today. That might be another Freya question. Lads, what's the clap about? Is there a bit of fun with the clap? Is this the new celebration? We don't want to yell. Regardless, that was fantastic from Big. Sin got isolated here, right? But look at the response time. For a minute 13 on the clock. They don't want to give up the bomb site. They do not want to play a retake. So they take the fight. And it's so weird to me that Vitality committed. Because that duel they got against Sin,
I know, there's so much time.
it's not meant to go down that way.
Yeah.
It's meant to be as the execute's coming through. The smoke wasn't even deployed at that time. So they were, I guess, caught off guard because they get that kill and it's like, do we just commit?
I guess now is the time. Yeah.
And they ran into the onslaught of Big. I am loving it. They're hitting some shots today.
Does it qualify as a golf club what they're doing? Could it be like a
golf club? It could be. It could be.
Like a little throwback.
Well, I guess you could either scream and, you know, go wild like Cadian and co, which is one way to do it, or everyone could just, good stuff, guys, we're happy with that, you know, just, why not? Keeping the hands warm too.
Nice.
Do they think they do your favorite run boost, Anders?
I do like this run boost.
Here we go.
Always funny.
Ooh,
Oh, grenade on top. Yeah, give it to us right as they come. Oh, it's a little bit late.
Throw it!
Yeah, still lands pretty well. One of the more successful, I mean, successful as in nobody screwed anything up and nobody got shot mid-air. It still didn't do anything, but it never does.
It's just fun to watch, really. Someone gets to go for a little bit of flight. What is crazy, and look, I want to make sure that people understand when I mention this, that we know that Valve's system in-game, it's maybe not as accurate in determining flash assists, but you look at the effective flashes on the Big side of things right now, we will need someone to go through this with a fine tooth comb, but they have so many across the board, and we've seen that come into play. Yeah. Like, Tabson has 21, 24 for Crimbo, 17 for Sirison, 14 for Sin, Keto with 11. And you compare that to the other side, it's not even close. No, effective flashes.
That's outrageous.
They've been using their utility. You've been highlighting it. That's to back it up.
That's actually so crazy. Okay. Yeah, somebody go with this demo. Keto taking down Maze. Where's Launders?
Yeah, well, look, this is the thing. I know that HLTV kind of establish effective flashes a little bit differently to the way that we look at it here. So I understand that it's a bit hard for us to narrow down this stat. But this round is also going to feel very flat for Vitality. They've lost the opener. They're going to have no tunnel presence. It channels them towards long. And there's two players here ready and waiting. And Keto's already pushed up mid to punish the tap onto Apex. This round's done.
Yes, it is. Crimbo. 1 health left on Saiwu, barely winning it, but taking for Tabson is going to be real difficult. Spinks, I mean, heads up play. He even does actually go to look, but still can't really win it. Molotov here will force the pre-forward, and look at the pre-fire for Tabson. What a genius. Big are well on their way to defeating Vitality in this one. And that's going to have everyone shocked and surprised.
Yeah, this is wild scene. So 3 rounds consecutively off the break, but when you look at the tail end of that first half of play, it was almost one-way traffic. For Big, they had 4 out of the final 5. Now they have the first 3 here in the second half. And it's the important rounds. It's the pistol round. They won the conversion against the Eco. Now they won the first gun round. They picked up a couple of AK-47s, establishing a bank. You know, the story's starting to build.
Sometimes we'll hear teams say it can be really tricky playing against something that's more of a mixed team because you just don't really know what they're going to be doing. But it doesn't really feel like that's what Vitality are falling. I don't think Big are playing like a mixed team at all, right?
No, maybe a little bit more freedom in some of the fights they're choosing, but in terms of being organized and following the strats that are being called and the utility usage and the ideas that they're employing, it's good Counter-Strike. That is definitely not something that we can be debating here today. And this is with Sin, the substitute from the Academy team. Look, he's not having contributions that are huge, that are blowing us away right now. He will have to on this CT side, so we'll get a much better understanding of his contributions. But this is with mainly impact from the likes of Tabson and Sirison, and then Keto with some entries, Crimbo being tidy. And speaking of tidy, there he is again. I think Tabson has to be one of the best players in the world at playing the rifle from the A-ramp. Just some of his highlights, maybe that tricks me into it, but some of his highlights are remarkable from this position.
Yeah, I agree. Quite a few come to mind. I'd love to see the replay of that. They lined up right for that one. 11-8. No bomb plant. Tabson is in his element now.
Does Zywoo have to drop 40 again? Is he just going to have to go woo mode here? He might have to, right? Because we know that he was a beast during EPL, and if that's the level of play that he has to hold himself to, then so be it. We've been used to this type of dialogue for years. Tagged on the cross, Sin. It's going to be the walking wounded here.
How many times can you push the Saiwu 40 button until it breaks?
Look, I think until Zywoo decides it's enough. He's going to drop as many kills as he can. That's...
I'm so bewildered by this game at the moment. Only a 3-round gap, so it's not like Vitality is so far behind that they can never make it back into the game or anything, but yeah, some kind of energy is missing from this team at the moment. They need to recover it right about now.
That's
Shots going right over, and that's a lot of damage to both Magisk and Dupree, although Magisk is still in an interesting position, going to be tapping away and taking down Sin, and now alone inside of here is Keto. He's got the AK in the corner, has to win this next fight. What an absolutely disgusting entry. That's the round.
Okay, yeah, well, they will be able to pencil one in here. They can bring the bomb over, they can get that down from the back of Zywoo. Currently, you can see him springing over to assist. We've seen Magisk do that move before as well, right? We've definitely seen that play come through, and they knew that they were in tunnels because they were peppering them. Those tags eventually get heard, especially by a player as close as what? I believe it was Keto there.
Yes.
So Spinx's contingency here, he's just playing to contain. It means they're unable to escape this A site. Apex on the catwalk now as well. And everybody's being drawn out of the site here. They have confirmed this one. It's just Magisk to defend from the upper tunnel. But right now, Dupree running the backyard, Zywoo joining up with Spinx and Apex. And they're juggling some util across. So Zywoo has a smoke, a flash, and a molly. Now the flash is the key component here. They're going to flash over and fight looking for guns. Oh, not even over, just in. So there's the flash gone. That's the extent of the look. And that's going to be a round back for Vitality now. Okay, it's good to see them strike back in that fashion, but that's just Magisk getting 2 big entries onto B. There was nothing crazy special about that. Well, I guess that is crazy special.
Yeah, but it's not the kind of thing you can keep doing round after round, so it's good. Nice to get a little bit of a boost back for the team, but don't expect them to be doing that, you know, for the next 3 or 4 rounds, obviously.
It's concerning, though, if they do decide they want to keep targeting Sin on this B bomb site.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great game plan, but obviously you have to assume at some point if that happens, Big will start to try to counter it and say, okay, maybe we have to put Sin somewhere else, and when you show up, now it's going to be tapped onto somebody else there.
Well, they missed that molly. They have a nice little combo, Big, where they smoke the doors as they're doing the short boost and molly off the skybox so it lands anybody pushing out to blue bin. And I think that Vitality, if you get towards the long doors early enough, you can see the trajectory of that smoke, and they definitely saw the trajectory of that incendiary. So they have a good idea of the setup that is being opted for here. And they have been able to get 3 players out the long doors. Keto in lower tunnels, and Magisk is very reserved. So, yeah, Keto, if you want to keep coming, I'm sure Magisk will be more than happy to get that kill. Sin now, flirting with the idea of rotating back, is hovering around the mid doors. There's so much utility available here. They just want to get Zywoo into pit first. Smokes the corner himself, flashes forward, jumps on down. And this is one of the times when we talk about heads-up duels with AWPers that Zywoo needs to be prepared for the type of tendencies Syrison has with these peaks. Because, well, he's not in position right now, but he definitely could make his way over.
45 seconds. Look at how much utility's been saved by Big. It's actually outrageous.
It is crazy.
I mean, again, they could win this round on utility alone. It might be in a different way. It might not be the flashbangs, but it might just be Vitality not being able to plant. They have a couple of smokes. They're using them now to cross. 1 more left on Magisk, but they got to be really careful. Still another 2 Molotovs left on the Big side. A little bit of an exchange. Magisk gets, Apex gets blown up, and it's still a 4-on-4. 20 seconds on the clock. They're starting to get here, but there's still another 2 HEs left. Tabson, he gets found right inside of the smoke. Syrison is here. That's the bomb on the ground, and a Molotov on top of it. With only 8 seconds left, they can't pick up the bomb at the moment. That's a little bit of a disaster. And Dupree, he crisps, trying to get onto it. They're out of time. Oh, Sin, don't do it. If he would have, I mean, that's really horrifying.
Everybody went down. Yeah, look, you bang on. That util was so key. They just lit the site on fire the entire time. That was it. There was no way forward. That was actually really cool to see. There's been so many times I've tried to build up those situations with the long cross, with all this util, and here it is again in slow motion replay. Low, I need to find my way in. I need to find my way in. Nah, I'm going to burn. And that's it. You bang on, that's the round. But the amount of times I've built that up and the utility hasn't actually saved a day is quite absurd. So I'm glad to see Big stick the landing with that. And look at the smirk on Tabson's face here. You have to be happy with how that one unfolded. Gob looking straight at Crimbo, having a real conversation, a tap on the shoulders. A lot to be said. Gob will sit back down in his chair and stay cool, calm, and collected now because that's his 30 seconds done.
Unbelievable scenes.
These rounds, when you go back and watch this demo of your Vitality, maybe you don't want to go back and watch the demo of your Vitality.
I mean, you might learn something about on the utility side. The amount of homework that they have to be doing big to be able to do this for a whole series or a whole map is yeah, it's insane.
But the adjustment now from Vitality is, hey, look, boys, if we get this long control, that's fine, but we have to seem threatening. If we don't seem threatening, they're just going to stand stoic, right? The economy of utility there, the way that they were very reserved is key. Now look at this. This has got some hustle. This has got some pace.
Yeah, if you want to be saving nades, we'll try and go really hard at it. Smoke goes up. Searson here. Oh, the light. The second smoke not quite there. And Dupree is going to be dead. The spray through is actually really impressive. That's a lot of damage. Spinks is almost dead. And Apex knocked out. Saimu's going to get one in return, trying to see if he can get in. Oh, he is such a monster, isn't he? Good couple of shots, and now he's going to turn around and try and guard the middle while the bomb is getting there. Flash on over, but Searson, ready? Oh, I thought he would have had it. Thought he would have gone for it. 2 versus 3. They don't have a lot of health left at all on the T side.
Bagu has to fight. He has to look for a pick. It looks like the wrong play, but it was the right call. They were low on health. They were down a man, and now it's Spinks on the side to 1-on-3. He's got the first.
Just the one, but he's very low indeed. Sneaking through. He might find the second wall almost for free. Oh, they line up in front. Spinks, this might be it. He's going to get one. Does he see the shadow on the second? Searson's out there, but it's Searson to take him down. 3rd kill and enough time for a defuse. And now, 4-round lead, 13-9 for Big.
This is the Searson everybody wants to see in the server here today, and understand he had to salvage that situation. A very, very good work, though, to keep the nerve, to win that fight, because Spinks was starting to heat up. And you see Zoe going through this fight, and a lot of people are going to say, why did he peek? Why did he peek? You have to understand the scenario here. They're in a 2v3 situation, right? They're on low on HP. At any point, they could get bowled over. They don't know how close the rotation's coming through. And Spinks is still having a smile on his face. Surely that can't be from this round. Maybe. Maybe the mood's high. Maybe they don't think they're done yet. 13-9. Time and rounds starting to become a real issue for Vitality. And check this one out. A new little move. A boost up and over on the Xbox. That's a quick way to get to short.
Yeah, really fast. Vitality trying to change the pace in that last round, and it almost worked. If they would have got the smoke off so that Dupree doesn't die,
hang on,
probably get in there in a huge way, and everything is different.
I completely agree with that. Keto trying to initiate here. They'll stall them out in lower. But this part of the game plan, it makes a lot of sense, right? If a team is running heavy upper dark presence, and this is how they get their mid control, if you stall them out, you throw their entire default out of sync. And look at that. That is 3 chunky nades. So even if they were to go towards A, Tabson could be scooping those round after round. Sorry, nade after nade.
Yeah, great position if they try to go for that default A plant. You can nuke them from down there. It's interesting. All right, so they kind of got the default control under control here on the Vitality side. Lower dark, outside of long.
But look how fluid it is. Now Big have just taken back long. Smoke doors, swing as a unit, completely controlled. Know that nobody's blue bin. You can leave Crimbo here now. Time is a problem. We're down to the 40-second mark. Spinks has to respect that. Likely Herb with the steps back in the burn. The bomb towards the mid doors.
Under 30 seconds.
Vitality is spinning right now.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they probably have to. Yeah, they're going to be faking a little bit long control. Surely, even actually committing to it with Spinks out there. Oh, Keto sees the bomb. The spray is immaculate. 3 kills and the round is absolutely over. Spinks, yeah, he could fight for headshots, but that's about it. 14-9. This round falls completely flat for Vitality. Wow, this is shocking. I'm still kind of in shock.
Oh, understandably so. I think this is the Big that Mao is predicting to be a top 5 team in the world. Was it top 5? Anyway, I don't think that really matters right now, but they are playing some very tidy Counter-Strike, and Vitality can't seem to find an answer.
I think you said top 1.
Top 1? All right, you can say.
I might be making that
look,
up.
It's fine. Let's leave it at top 1. I'm sure he'll let us know on the social medias here, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the Big camp right now. Right? It's seeming comprehensive, well put together. There's always an idea. The individuals, well, there's the in-game leader of Tabson, who is a superstar in his own right with 20. 19 for Searson, who's been finding his impact, especially in the clutch situations. Go back to the T-pistol. That was massive in itself.
Yes.
And then you have Keto as well contributing here. So there's some names on Big who are styling on him right now. On the other side, Apex, Dupree kept respectively between the two, but it's not even the frags. It's more just about the way that Big are deploying themselves in the server right now. It's very fun to watch.
Yes, it really is. Playing a cool game. Nice flick. So he's up to 23, so he's doing a lot of work. But the calls that are coming out late in these rounds, the utility, the way that they are pressuring Vitality, especially in the second half, I mean, it's it's actually just really cool to watch.
And look at this push from Keto now. If he's able to just hold on to this position, they have a 3-man B stack. So even if he goes down, it might make them think B's a bit more susceptible, but Tabson's gotten across quite early, and he wants to stop the mid to B. You can tell with this util set.
Something they haven't really done big yet is actually pushing out of long. So if they wanted to sort of search for the one thing that they haven't tried too much, maybe that could be one of those things. Maybe we'll see that coming up from Crimbo or somebody else soon. That off angle for Keto paying off. Side was out of the round. And that's a bit rough. Now they're going to be throwing in some nades. Sin is back here with the Molotov as well. The battle is being won by Keto. He had the triple in the last round as well. He's going to show up this time and pick up another 3. Tabson executing Apex and Spinks. Nothing he could do. 15 to 9.
I feel like the way that Big have approached this CT side is a similar game plan as to what Liquid tried to have in that grand final on Dust 2. They've just been more successful with it, right?
Yes.
They haven't been as impatient in the fights. They've known if they get pushed out of lower, they can drop back. They don't have to full commit to those fights. But Keto has been a nuisance. In mid, lower dark, upper tunnels, hitting some great shots, some crispy shots. He was taking space on the T side and... I think Sirison maybe looking at his radar or having a chit-chat there. Sphinx doesn't have enough time to win this round, so maybe just saving the ult for ZywOo. Max loss bonus is in play, but they've only won 1 round on this T side.
You know, for inspiration out there, whenever people say, you know, do your homework and all the rest of it, don't think about actual homework. Think about what Big are bringing into this game. If you're if you're prepared enough, you can defeat a team that you probably should never get close to defeating, especially given the stand-in. Again, I would say Big with a regular roster in a best of 1, sure, I could see that happening. But fresh Vitality that's just come out of winning the last season of ESL Pro League, and now have a, you know, that's on the Vitality side, and then Big with a stand-in, you think there's no way. But the level of preparation is insane.
Yeah, this feels desperate now from poor Vitality, but you have to take this time out. It's the last opportunity that you can. The AWP here in the hands, sure, you need something out of ZywOo to make this possible. Spinks is condemned down to a Tech 9, Apex yet to buy, but it's going to be something light as he only has 1,400 remaining here to his name. And this is the crazy thing. You get yourself into that 2-0 bucket, well, Enter up there as well. I don't know what the matchups are looking like tomorrow. We still have Heroic taking on Outsiders. We need to see the winner of that. And then later, Na'Vi versus Mouse, once this one here concludes. They just might finish with a bit of a B play here. They're going to try the waters, going to test the luck. They're going into the young gun here, Anders.
Yes, they're going for it. Keto going to get knocked out for once. Sin, just the 1 kill as Dupree will take him right back. And this time they're going to call for a really early save, and that makes a lot of sense. You've got a huge buffer. You just need 1 more round. No point in throwing away a round like this and trying to go for a 3-on-4 retake. Just not really worth it.
Okay, so you get in this time, right? The 2 rounds that you've won are at the B-bomb site. One time Magisk walked in and killed both of them. This time you go with a little bit more pace and you end up dealing with the 2 of them between the likes of Magisk and Dupree. Okay, great. But again, where's the rest of the playbook? What else has worked? Absolutely nothing. So if you're Big, if we just don't let you go B, you don't have any options here.
And I'm sure Big even have more tricks because they've had quite a few of them, right? We've seen a couple of rounds. We saw that quick boost with Searson up through the middle. We saw 1 round, I think, where Keto was pushed up and was quickly out long on the CT side. I'm sure they have more stuff in them. So still, Vitality taking another step in the right direction. 15 to 10. And the curious question now is, could they find another 5 here?
How do you feel about this framing? So we already know that Vitality have been able to come back against G2 on Inferno from a 16-7 score. Sorry, a 15-7 scoreline. 16-7 would be quite literally impossible. But a 15-7 scoreline, right? They were able to bring the game all the way back. Do you buy into the mental fortitude here, or because what I'm seeing is it's not like that CT side where they just got to sit in the sides and Hooksy would call executes on them. This is where they have to be creative.
I don't know, this just does not feel like the Vitality of last week.
A couple of days ago, really.
A couple of days ago, yeah, it doesn't. And I mean, again, it is a big proposition. You know, you win a giant tournament, and then you have to sort of go right back. Now we're qualifying for the major, but man, I don't know, something is off. And combined with the fact that Big are so well prepared, it is kind of like the worst thing. Ooh, yeah.
It's not the end of the world that missed because Dupree's playing in front of it. It's not game over. So that was actually meant to be a bit of a fake and hopefully bait out a rotation point in. So Dupree can stay here for a lot of this round. Tabson is coming back over now. Magisk is doing his standard harassment with the lurk smoke and the molly combo. Keto towards back of plat, wants to keep his head down until that fades, give him the advantage. But some real estate for Vitality in this one. But where's the finish going to be?
Dupree would love for somebody to walk in here and check. Someone who's just a bit careless, who assumes that no one's going to be here. That smoke, Dupree's even thinking, yeah, that's it. That's my time to go. Got to be careful. Orb up there. Citizen, though, not able to adjust. And now they're going to put some pressure on Apex, yeah, from the other side. They want to try and see if they can keep everyone over here, but I'm assuming they're going to jump out of the middle at some point. They're at least signaling, oh, wait a minute, maybe not.
We're going back long. This will have to be an A-split considering the time available here. There's nobody anchoring long right now. It's going to be Crimbo who's mid-long. It's a bit awkward here.
And for once, there's not that much utility on the big side, so maybe there is a way here for Vitality. Not going to run into any more Molotovs. There's a good shot for Searson. Spins around. He almost had it, but he's got to shot at the back. He's going to be so careful. Tabson gets one. Searson's out of it. You're right, there is no time. 10 seconds about to be for Magus here, and the bomb is miles away. Absolutely no shot. 16 to 10 as Big shock the world and bring down Vitality.
Yeah, look how happy they are with this. Big smiles, big hugs all around. That was a very comprehensive game of Counter-Strike, and they should be smiling. They played fantastically well. Could even say that's been the upset so far of either RMR that we've been going on here in Europe, but that is fantastic work. Searson with the clutches, Tabs an absolute force. Keto showing up with that firepower that everybody thought he could have for all the years, and that's Big going up into the 2-0 column here. We're going to be heading to a break. We're going to be letting the Deaths dissect this one. I'm going to be interested in what Blair and Kassad have to say alongside Apala. Be right back.